My name is Joy Griffin. I'm a professor and an entrepreneur. I react to Shark Tank, and today we're going to look at Squatty Potty. This is one of the most successful companies that's come out of Shark Tank, and it's not because it's a toilet stool or because of the deal that the sharks did. It's actually because it holds such an important entrepreneurship lesson that if your product is extremely easy to copy, then speed to market becomes your moat. Let's watch.
Hello, sharks. I'm Bobby Edwards. This is my mother, Judy, and we're here seeking $350,000 for a 5% share in our simple product that changes lives. Now, there's something that each and every one of you are doing wrong every day of your lives, and it's adversely affecting your health.
Hold that business.
The American toilet.
It's funny because so many founders think that they can't innovate such a simple, everyday item, but that's just not true. This niche is interesting to me in particular because a lot of people are embarrassed to talk about things like toilets or hemorrhoids or menopause or, I don't know, diarrhea. So a lot of founders will shy away from these businesses. But in fact, hundreds of millions of people around the world have these problems. So when you have such a big market, you just have to figure out how to break through. And I want you to think about this in your home every day. It doesn't have to be a huge idea to be an enormous success. Let's keep watching.
And the sitting position that it puts you in plays a big part in a lot of the colon issues that we have, such as constipation. Let me show you why. Anatomically, we have a muscle called the puborectalis muscle that wraps around the base of our colon, forming a kink. And when we're sitting on the toilet, this kink only partially relaxes. And only when we are in a squat position does this muscle completely relax and allows us to have a complete and full elimination of our waste.
That was pretty quick to be able to explain what sounds like it could be an actual medical reason that this product could improve your overall wellness. Pretty exciting to see and pretty easy to describe the problem. So I'm going to rate this problem pretty high based on how many people that it affects and how easy it is to educate the consumer.
So we've come up with a perfect solution. Squatty Potty, a simple stool that's been carefully designed that allows the user to squat in a healthy position while still enjoying the comfort and convenience of their Western toilet. And when not in use, it stores neatly away.
So with our hard work,
That was such a quick demonstration. What I really like about this solution is that it's easy to explain and it's easy to demonstrate. What I don't love about this solution is that it's a one and done purchase. So when you sell one of these stools to a consumer, they're not going to buy from you again, unless maybe they have another bathroom or maybe two, but then they're done. They're not going to become a repeat buyer. So there's no sort of add-on products. It's a one product company. Could sell really well, maybe in infomercials, QVC, but let's watch and see what happens next.
Now, who wants to climb on board and help us get America
Bobby,
moving?
how do you squeeze out a profit?
You want to hear about Squatty Potty profits?
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear about sales because you value this business at $7 million.
Right.
That's a whole lot of poo-poo.
We've been in business 3 years. The first year in business, we sold $1 million in Squatty Potty.
Come on.
The year after,
What? $1 million? I wonder where they distributed to in their very first year. So in my first year of business, I was able to sign my first purchase order was over $1 million, but that was B2B. So maybe they sold to, I don't know, old age homes or some sort of B2B chain. Let's watch.
yes, I like it.
And this year alone, we just sold $2 million in Squatty Potties in the first 2 quarters. So
How do you sell them? To who?
they're all available online. You know, we have
There's
a website.
no retail?
And Amazon. We're not in retail yet.
Holy crap. You're selling...
Holy crap, right? There's a crap load of money in Squatty
No,
Potty.
seriously, you're selling 2.7 million.
Wow. Direct to consumer, $1 million in your first year, and all of that growth since. Looking at $4 million in its third year of business, that's an incredible achievement. Now I'm really curious how they sold this product because I can't imagine that the price point is that high. So my gosh, let's see how they got to market.
I think I know why.
Why?
Weren't you just on Dr. Oz? I just saw this.
Okay, so in the first year we were in business in 2012, we were on Dr. Oz.
Yes.
That's how we got that $1 million, right? And you know what Dr. Oz said about it? It works.
Because 2/3 of the world,
Right.
people squat.
Is there anything
Okay, so I didn't know that, but 2/3 of the world people squat. Dr. Oz endorsed this product. So when you have a new product, especially when you're trying to change consumer behavior, which this is significantly changing how people view going to the bathroom, you do need to have both attention and credibility, trust. And of course, Dr. Oz is a well-known, well-trusted, credible source. He's got a loyal viewership for his channel. And these guys went on and Dr. Oz says it works. That's pretty powerful. $1 million that very first year from a visit to Dr. Oz. Note to self.
to stop someone else from doing exactly the same thing?
Okay, so we have several patents. We have a design patent on our Echo, which is our #1 seller. We have patent pendings on this adjustable Squatty, so an adjustable stool that raises with toilet height.
Talk about IP. So intellectual property patents, great to get. This actually shows some credibility. It shows some founder strength, some team strength. I'm guessing that they probably got design patents, and that would mean that they were able to patent the design of how it fit around the toilet bowl, perhaps. The challenge with that, even though it's an asset for the company and it's good in many ways, at the same time, a competitor could take something like this, make one change to the design and bring it to market. So those patents, although they are definitely valuable to the company, do not necessarily protect Squatty Potty from competitors coming in and just knocking off the product.
So what do you sell it for and what's it cost you to make?
Let's talk about this one because this is the one that's on market. It's 25 bucks,
And what's it cost you to make?
$4.50.
Wow.
And we make them in the United States.
Great margins.
This is a very simple product. It would be easy to duplicate. They could get around the design patents. So this is really a speed to market race. You have to have awareness and broad channels of distribution to be able to get to market fast. So in this case, they're going to need to build a brand quickly and they're bootstrapping it. So that means that the profit margin is actually really, really important. You're talking about maybe an 80% margin. So 80% is a huge profit margin, but you're gonna need that because you're gonna have to take all those profits that you're making, reinvest them back into the business for things like marketing to be able to build that brand. Traditionally it could take a decade to build a brand and you've got to sort of hyperspeed that up.
Cash, right? What do you need $350,000 for?
So we have so many opportunities, we can't fund them all. One of the biggest things that we want is FDA compliance and medical reimbursement coverage for this product and getting this as a medical device. And this is where this takes this from a as seen on TV direct response product to a real legitimate medical product.
I love the thought of making this a medical device. You could get, for a simple product like this, an FDA certification, and depending on how far you go and the type of product it is, it could cost about $100,000, maybe more, maybe less. Maybe take 6 to 12 months, but suddenly this now has an endorsement from the FDA that this is a wellness-related medical device. What does that mean? Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that insurance would cover that, but and it's a low price point, so that wouldn't even be important. But what is great about that, you could have the credibility of having FDA on your packaging. For me, I also think about extra channels of distribution when you open that up. So I'm going to be calling every chiropractor in the United States, nursing homes, and any place that's sort of a medically related or medically adjacent distribution channel, and selling these so that then you start to build up a team of people that are selling your product and building your brand. It's really, really smart. Let's keep watching.
Why aren't we in retail? Because people don't know how to put this in retail.
Why would you want to go into retail when you're killing it right now?
Why wouldn't we want to be in every Walgreens and CVS?
I think one of the challenges with getting this into retail is, do people first laugh?
Yeah.
Why can't somebody just get a stack of books and lift their legs up?
Squatty Potty is designed specifically for the task.
Consumers are notoriously price sensitive and they're hard to educate. So when you're walking through a store and you see something like this, you think, I don't need a stool for my toilet. And that seems unnecessary. It is hard to communicate and educate the customer in a retail setting. Easier with QVC or infomercials or alternate ways like Shark Tank or Dr. Oz. But it is a little bit more challenging, but it could still be done. Because remember, there's always going to be consumers that don't want to put their credit card into Squatty Potty's website because they just don't trust it. There's a generation of people who still feel like they're going to be frauded. And so they want to go to Bed Bath & Beyond or wherever they go to buy their products and pick up a Squatty Potty there.
We expect $7 million in 2014.
Why? But why?
Because all of our sales come at Christmas. At Christmas time, this is a
Really?
big product.
43%.
What are you going to make off the $7 million? What
We're
are you going to
expecting
make?
to earn $1 million to $1.5 million in sales.
So why, if you have 80% margins, why aren't you making more money off of $7 million in sales?
The cost of getting a customer it's an education
Okay,
thing.
so what's your cost per customer acquisition?
I'm not having a lot of credibility in this founder right now. And they're talking about their profitability. They're going to make $1 million, $1.5 million. Those are really round numbers. I like to see founders that have a better understanding of the economics of their business. I think in today's environment, you really have to have that. And I see Mark Cuban sort of having to point him in the right direction to be able to answer the questions clearly.
So, Bobby, let's say I buy into your $7 million vision for this year in sales. What are you going to do with my money?
I'm going to increase production immediately. Our sales are increasing so rapidly.
Our demand is around the world.
And we have cash in the bank. We can make a crap load of money here. We're a good family to work with. But we feel like we really do need a shark.
They do need a shark because they need to get to market quickly before competitors knock off their product and steal their idea. So they need a shark for distribution.
Like the deal?
Okay.
I'd give you the $350,000 for 10%.
Yeah. So that's, the problem is on the back end, it's going to be worth so much more.
Look, I think it's very, very difficult to get people to change their minds about things. We're used to going to the toilet a certain way. I just don't see it. I'm out.
Okay.
I've made you an offer. I'm offering you $350,000 for 10%.
Bobby, do you have a counter for that?
Yeah, $700,000 for 10%.
I wouldn't do that deal, Bobby.
Okay.
All right, so he just didn't move at all. He's holding the valuation of the company. That's a little bit of rigidity that I'm starting to see. And the fact is that most sharks don't want 5% equity. It's just too small. And so 10%, 350,000, if you were to come back with a good counter, you would show up somewhere in the middle, or at least show some flexibility around the value that you perceive that these sharks have. Because truthfully, you could go home and somebody could rip off this idea, go to market faster than you, and get nothing. So having this shark relationship and creating a channel of distribution through their network is actually pretty critical for this business. So you want to show a little bit of flexibility as the founder. You want them to feel coachable. Let's keep watching.
But to Kevin's point too, 5%, as he would say, is a nothing burger.
Well, give us an offer, yeah.
I think that this could do really well on QVC and in retail, but I think retailers is harder. But for me to invest, I feel like I would need at least 10%, but I don't want to give you $700,000.
Okay.
If you're interested, if you really want a shark, then you would entertain.
I really dislike how he just reacted. That, sometimes it's like an ick, like it's a feeling that you get. And that big sigh, like, oh, I mean, we're not hearing the shark's perspective, and he's not acting like he's very open to collaboration. So that's actually a red flag for me personally. Let's see what Lori does.
The other issue is the 10% and the value of that in a year or 2 years.
You're talking out of both sides of your mouth.
Okay.
Right? So you're talking about wanting to get value for where you see the company going, and that's why you think it's worth $7 million. Then you talk about, boy, if only you had a shark who can help you get into retail. So you're obviously not valuing that, because if you truly did value that, you would not say, look, we're already to 7 million. You would have a value assigned to that could take you to 14 or 21.
Or 100 or 200. That's the power of a retail distribution strategy. So this could become a business that sold hundreds of millions of dollars. And yeah, we aren't seeing this founder recognizing the importance of that component to his business model. Where's the flexibility here? Let's watch.
Percent. That's the part that doesn't jive. I'm out.
Okay.
There's something about you that I'm not believing.
Ooh. I'm
No,
The
I
most trustworthy
trust
person-
your mom,
Oh,
but you're
no.
hopping and weaving a lot, I feel, and it's making me more nervous as I listen. I'm definitely out.
Bobby
Yeah.
gets a little excited.
I get
he
excited.
really is. He's very trustworthy.
I'm just coming back and forth. I apologize if I seem scattered.
I don't know. I think he's on the cusp of losing this deal. And if I were in his shoes, I would definitely ask the sharks, what is it going to take to get you involved in this business? What can you do for me? Let's see what he does. He may fold.
Actually, we're going to take Lori's offer.
There you go.
Great. Good. I think I know it helps a lot of people.
Lori is the right shark for this product. She has deep distribution retail relationships. She can bring it onto QVC. She can get it into retail. She can do infomercials. I felt like that was actually a good deal for both sides. If you liked this video and got value from it, please like and subscribe to join our community to get more videos.